Torser and I am here to discuss about processed foods as well as the gravity. But for now, let's talk about the processed foods. What is processed foods? So it is the food items that has a series of mechanical or chemical operations performed on it to change or preserve it. What is the history of processed foods? The first and most important step in food processing was also the simplest: cooking. So our earliest ancestor started by simply adding heat to meats, seeds, and vegetables as early as 1.5 million years ago. Simple food preservation methods are followed, including drying, smoking, salting, and some of the earliest civilizations. These techniques were developed, refined, and spread around the world across many different cuisines. In 19th century, pasteurization and canning was discovered. Pasteurization, developed, named for French microbiologist Louis Pasteur, was researched in 1860s. This process was particularly important for juices and especially milk, which is very susceptible to bacterial growth. A bit earlier, a French chef was working with a similar process. Nicolas Appert began experimenting with food preservation using heat, glass bottles, cork, and wax. The tin can would become particularly popular with the start of World War I and high demand for cheap, long-lasting, transportable food for soldiers. In 20th century, ready-to-eat meals, so new processes as well as new ingredients and new appliances contributed to the history of food processing in the 20th century. Artificial sweeteners and colors helped to make these preserved foods more palatable. The home oven, microwave, blender, and other appliances provided an easy way to quickly prepare these meals. Factories and mass production techniques made it possible to quickly produce and package foods. These developments paved the way for globally popular foods like frozen dinners, instant noodle cups, baking mix, and more. In 21st century, food safety and regulations. Many preservation processes reduce the vitamin and mineral content of otherwise healthy foods. Added fat, sugar, and oil increases calorie content without increasing techniques made it possible to quickly produce and package foods. These developments paved the way for globally. Nutritional value concerns about preservatives and their long-term health effects began to rise. The history of food processing has grown more than last 200 years than it has throughout the 10,000 of years than human civilization has existed. So, as these processes continue to advance, foods that are safe, accessible, and affordable as well healthy and environmentally friendly are the next challenges to meet. Gravity is also called gravitation. In mechanics, the universal force of attraction acting between all matter. It is by far the weakest known force in nature and thus play no role in determining the internal properties of everyday matter. So Isaac Newton published a comprehensive theory of gravity in 1687. Though others had thought about it before him, Newton was the first to create a theory that applied to all objects, large and small, using mathematics that was ahead of its time. Newton's theory was successful for hundreds of years until Einstein came along and turned it into head. The discovery of gravity. A popular story says that Newton came up with a theory of gravity instantly. When an apple fell from a tree and hit him on the head, actually, Newton saw an apple falling from a tree, and it got him to thinking about the mysterious force that falls objects to the ground. He compared the straight path of the apple to the curved path of fired cannonball. and wondered what would happen if Cannonball went faster and faster, and realized it would eventually fall around the curve of the earth forever and never hit the ground. This forever falling motion describes the movements of the moon around the earth and the earth around the sun.